Hi all, Freeze Cracked here. Making a video because it's spring napping season. I know some people are napping. I know some nap-ins have been going on. I know some people are looking for rock. And hold on, I need a prop. For those of you looking for rock, don't look for any like this. Or if you do, definitely learn to heat rock. Or this. The airplanes are flying a bunch again. If you get a rock like this, be really, really careful working it. Things that are thin and flat and big and weird tend to break if you look at them wrong. So you need to best bring your A game if you're gonna make you a big old tang knife out of this. Can I do it? Well, of course I can do it. Would I prove it? Well, no, I don't have to prove nothing. What was I gonna say? Oh, I know if you go on flintnappers.com, there's an events tab that shows some of the nap-ins going on. It's never been the case that all nap-ins get highly publicized because some people just don't get around to doing it. Here's another one that if you don't heat it, you're gonna regret it. Oh, I'm gonna sit here and hold some copper and antler at the same time as props to make, I figure that'll make like everybody mad, right? Because, yeah, I'm being controversial. I've been isolated for too long and I haven't had any social interaction and I've gone kind of wild and mean or something, I guess. So hence this display of overt aggression. So yeah, you might get to an event if you haven't been to any because you're missing out, and you're missing out on availability of some things like tools and rock and stuff. You're missing out on interaction with nappers and sitting with some great nappers and watching them, and it's totally different from watching video because when you're right there and can see hear all the huge noise, ear-splitting cracks, and see the actual physical violence that people are wreaking upon these rocks and everything to get stuff out of them, then you really start to understand what it takes to do that. Because if you've just been sitting around going ding, 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 ooh, I just got copper on this antler, uh-oh. You sit around going dink, 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 dink all the time, and then you get next to them and you like, whammo, see that happening, and it hurts your ears, and if you're not careful, even if you're 6 feet away, you'll get a flake in the teeth or something, and you know, it just really, it's eye-opening, because it definitely does take some seriousness about the forced delivery into some of that stuff. So, I said all that. About where to find rock, I still get people saying, well, where do you find rock? Where do I get flakes? Well, I mean, the main place that I've gotten stuff is at nap-ins. And you say, why? Well, because it tends to be there, and you can hand pick what you want, as opposed to, you know, just ordering something and having somebody send you a box of whatever. And you can attempt to get flakes from nappers that don't work their flakes. Debitage piles and things, go ask people and say, hey, you know, can I have a few flakes, or can I have a bunch of flakes, or can you sell me some flakes or whatever? And so there's a number of things going on at those events. A main factor that was a big deal for me at those events, other than the camaraderie, social interaction, and all that stuff, was the the huge number of different ways of doing things that you see people doing. I mean, it's really very, very enlightening when you see people that are doing really good work in a way that's 100% opposite of what you just saw at a different tarp. And it's pretty darn interesting. Yeah, I was thinking that might be a good rock. That's pretty stuff. I mean, a lot of times they're not as pretty in the middle. You can't stay right on the skin with them. But this is pretty glossy and neat looking. Might have a freeze crack or two in it. That looks like an area that not good. Sometimes the better rock, it's just hard to get good rock that's survived, depending upon where it's been. Always beautiful under the skin, seems like, and then it instantly goes kind of gnarly in the middle. But I don't know. I mean, that might be a little spot. Another main reason that I wanted to say something to you today and make a video was to say that some other people whose videos I like to watch have made a couple of videos lately that I really enjoyed seeing, and I feel like are benefit. Man, this is the best rock I've hit in a long time. My goodness. Crazy good. I need to give this to somebody with skills, with mad skills, and quit hitting it with a solid. I need to get the tools that I have kind of semi figured out well so that I can make the most of this little rock if I don't give it away to somebody with mad skills. I keep interrupting myself. It's rude. What is it that I'm trying to say? I'm trying to talk about, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? My goodness. Okay, I'm putting this down. What I was going to say is the Flint Knapping Tips YouTube channel. The Flint Knapping Tips YouTube channel. That is Marty. He has new video. The Jason Newman channel. That's Jason. He has new video. And I like watching them. Now, that does not mean I do not like watching a bunch of other people's video, and there's way more flint knapping video up than there was when I first put some up a few years back. So there's a lot of stuff to watch. I would tell you that, you know, when you're watching people, try to be discerning regarding the degree to which you think that how they're doing stuff would be good for you to do stuff, because if it isn't, then keep looking. Keep looking until you find some that is. The reason I took that many hits and all is I was trying to be careful didn't want to get too big a bite of that, and I was more worried about my support than I was about whether a flake came off, because this is one of them deals that breaks if you look at it wrong. And I don't need all the pieces, so I'm just kind of careful when I'm getting into these things. It can be safer to work like this sometimes because, as you can see, I've got all kinds of support along the back. Something that I don't recall ever having mentioned is you've got to decide at some point if you're going to be a rapid, make it or break it kind of person, which there are definitely a number of those people, or if you're going to be a real pragmatic, careful, set everything up great person. Along those same lines, you got to decide if you're going to be a person who tries to do a lot with a few strikes, etc., or if you're going to be the kind of person that does a little bit each time and takes a whole lot of hits. Some of that may be dictated by your ability, but generally speaking, even with highly capable knappers, I have seen a wide range in that regard. One of the more shocking things to me about Jason, I could just stop there and this would be, that'd be a good, one of the more shocking things to me about Jason is the speed at which he can knock out something incredible. It isn't just you see the end result and go, oh, that was great. No, watch it get made and it's a whole nother level. It's almost as if he had a semi-unlimited supply of gorgeous, beautiful, large rock near him. Okay, that was mean. I take it back. Wait a minute. I'm a practical man. Jason, if you're watching, that was mean. I take it back. What am I doing? I wasn't going to work this piece. This was just for looks while I was talking to y'all. Okay, so, and I've already ticked off Jason. I'm probably in big trouble. I should talk about Marty. He's way further away. Marty, how's it going? Marty was a problem for me when I was starting out because I would greatly appreciate opportunities to watch him in action, and he too, he was so fast with what he was doing that it didn't do me any good to watch him sometimes, depending upon, and I don't mean on video, I mean, you know, I just went and dogged him for months, you know, just followed him around like a puppy. Yeah, that's not true. I would have, but he didn't let me. Yeah, like, you know, you see, you get an opportunity, you're like, okay, man, I'm really going to learn today. This is going to be great. I'm going to go home a genius. This is going to be so cool. And you like go home and your head hurts and it's spinning and you're like, what the heck did I see? I don't know. And if you don't got video, it's not like you can do a replay and analyze it for the rest of your life until you figure it out. Now, just being silly there, none of that actually refers to Marty. All I was doing was leading up to the fact that I still think y'all would be a lot better off if you either, if you go into the settings on the video, like this one, and go up to the little cog wheel looking thing. It's like a bicycle sprocket or something, if you have a great imagination. And you click on that, and then you go to speed, and depending upon what you think of how I do stuff, you can either speed it up or slow it down. So if you're like, I know what he said just then don't make sense, but I want to make sure, you can slow it down and replay it umpty million times. Or if you're like, I am so tired of hearing talking, I wish he would just talk faster and this video would be over and I get back on with my life. And I don't want to turn the video off because he might show something or say something that is of some slight degree of usefulness or interest, but he probably won't. So I want to run it at double speed. You're gonna sound like one of the chipmunks. And I don't know where Alvin is, but he's the chipmunk. Do that. See, that would be pretty darn dangerous if I had done it other ways. But I just barely caught the corner straight on top and wrapped it to make, you know, the platform to go back the other way. And I had everything touched all along it. So yeah, about Marty. He would probably be mad at me for saying this, but he's way, way funnier than me. He just don't usually show it because he's got better judgment about them kind of things. But he can be freaking funny. The first time he actually tried to be funny around me, I was like, blew my mind. He's like funny at warp speed. I had to really strain to keep up with how funny he was, you know. I had to strain to get it all. Like that time he was talking to that sciencey person and talking all kind of theory stuff, and I went home and started looking up quadratic equations to see if that helped me understand him, but it didn't. You know what? Look. Now, if you saw somebody coming at you with that in your hand, it probably would, you know, it probably would have a slight intimidation factor, you know. Come on, man, come on, man. Like, whoa, I don't know what to call what that might do, but all right, so how did I spend 19 minutes without doing anything? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, so what did I tell y'all? I told you, yeah, look on, yeah, okay. Well, I told you the things I thought might help you. I'm going to try a totally different thing that's just crazy, but I'll be back. Or there may be another video after this one. This video stands alone in history. This is going to get more more dislikes than any video I've ever made, probably, which is saying something. Bye.